Hey guys, this is Will here, and yeah, this video is just gonna be a little bit different than some of the other videos I've filmed. I wanted to, record my reaction, my just genuine reaction after experiencing something like this. I figured that it's good to kind of see what, you know, medicine is kind of really about, um, and yeah, I just wanted to share this with you guys. So this is actually my first time really seeing someone, I've talked to, die right in front of me. Um, I've seen a couple things, in the past few weeks of ER that were really sad and hard to unsee to in some ways as well. I saw the other day a stroke patient who, herniated his brainstem and died, and um, the conversation had with the wife, just seeing her in there, knowing that he was already gone and nothing could be done to save him, and seeing his wife, sitting by his side. That was pretty sad. Um, but today was the first day I ever actually had someone code right in front of me. So basically, I'll just go through what happened. So basically, we had a patient come in, shortness of breath. He was, he was wheeled into the trauma bay, and he came in complaining of shortness of breath. Me, my attending, and one of the senior residents went in there to go see him. We took a medical history. We asked him, he had like a port on him. We asked him what it was for. He said that it was used to treat bladder cancer. He's a survivor of, bladder cancer. And that was used to, give him the medications to treat that. He also had bilateral amputations. I think it was one on the left side was a above the knee amputation, one on the right side was a below the knee amputation. And he kind of just talked us through a little bit of his medical history. He was short of breath. He was in mild distress upon arrival, but he was able to kind of hold a conversation with us. He was, able to, talk to us and stuff. We didn't think he was that serious at that time. We knew he was, we had to act on him quickly. Of course, we did all the basic things. We got an EKG on him, and it came back pretty normal. It looked like there might have been a mild, right bundle branch block or something, if I remember correctly. But overall, the EKG pretty much looked fine. Obviously put in the IVs and all that stuff. I actually did a fast exam on him, so like an ultrasound exam, so I scanned him and stuff. After that, my senior resident left. I was doing a fast exam on him, and I noticed he was really getting short of breath. He started turning over on one of his sides in pain. I went to go get my attending and just tell them hey, he's kind of in a lot of pain. He probably needs some interventions kind of right now. So anyway, she said she put in pain meds and she's gonna go in there and look and stuff. So while that was happening, another patient came in, the door next to him, overdosed on multiple drugs, unresponsive to stimuli, pretty comatose at that point. And that point, that because they were separated by a curtain, it was at that point that I heard that they need to intubate the patient who was short of breath. So I came over there really quickly. I stood by him. He was starting to, his oxygen was starting to desat, so we're thinking we might have to intubate him. I remember standing by him, and he kind of held onto my arm. He grabbed onto my arm 2 times. And it seemed like he was grabbing onto my arm as out of desperation, out of he was in such pain, and he just laying there, and he grabbed my arm twice. So I held his hand, kind of rubbed it hey, it's gonna be okay. And It was pretty much during that time that he started to pretty much code. Um, we saw his his vital signs everything started just to plummet, and we had to like rapidly intubate him. We had to, everything just kind of happened at once. The code was happening, and then people were kind of coming in there and stuff, and we got like an automatic defibrillator going on him. IVs were being put in. We're putting like EPIs and stuff in him, and the code was going on for about 30 minutes or so, and at one point we just kind of realized that there was no point in keep on trying with him. So yeah, we had to pretty much call it quits. And I remember seeing the family there. The family was witnessing it. It was the mother and the son, and they were there watching their father/husband die, and that was really sad. And I remember it was at that point where I couldn't hold back, I guess, my tears anymore. It kind of just hit me. I felt so bad that they were witnessing their loved one die. Try to hold together, but in the end, he ended up passing. And yeah, it was just a pretty extreme experience. Sorry, I guess I should just go ahead and finish the story. I think I'm taking too long to get to the point, and I don't want to waste anyone's time. But I guess I'll just go ahead and finish it for whoever is listening who does care. So we continued, we tried to resuscitate him for about 30 minutes. And like I said, I just remember seeing the family there, and that was just really hard to see. We ended up calling it that he wasn't going to make it. The mother or / wife, we had to wheelchair her. Like she was going to faint. So we had to put her in a wheelchair, and then we wheelchaired her away to like a waiting room so she can just, kind of collect her thoughts. I just remember seeing the son look in there and looking at his father as his father was, was dying or was, I guess, dead at this point. That was really hard to see. He's about the same age as me, and it kind of just reminded me of my own father. It was pretty hard. And then I just remember seeing, we let him have some time with his dad. It was just very sad. He was standing over him crying, and we gave him some space. But I just remember, we gave him as much time as he needed. 20 minutes later, he was still in there crying, and it was just so heartbreaking. I'm not going to lie. It really sucked. It really sucked. After his son left, I tried to kind of clean up the room, make the patient or his father look presentable. We took out IV lines, we took his belongings, put his belongings in a belonging bag and stuff. It was just a really hard sight to see. Seeing somebody you just talked to die, and then taking off their wedding ring off of their hand, off their cold, limp hand, putting them in a gown and tucking them into a blanket so their family can see their dead loved one. It's just a really weird, it's not something you normally do. It was pretty hard. And then, and what's interesting about this is that as soon as that is done, we're expected to just move on to the next patient. We're just expected to, because that's what happens. We have another trauma come right in, and we got to get it, got to keep it together, and we have another trauma come in, we got to take care of it. Like, that just didn't happen, and even now, me as a medical student, just finishing a shift like that, I'm just supposed to come back here and study, just study as if I didn't literally have someone's dying hand, in my hand earlier today, and act like it's normal. I guess what I want to say through all of this is that, medicine is rough. People glamorize a lot of parts about it, and I think there's a lot of amazing things about it, but it is definitely rough, and it makes me want to be a better physician, but also, it really makes me realize, the healthcare providers, you know, our mental health is important too. So, you know, the medical school doesn't necessarily prepare you for this. It's just kind of like facing, you know, reality. And just sometimes things don't turn out the way you'd hope. But it's just, yeah, it was just pretty interesting, I guess, like just seeing how, you know, how all that happened. Such a big moment, someone lost their loved one, and also how we're just supposed to move on, like, you know, it's not a big deal. And it's kind of things like that that end up desensitizing people to what you end up doing in medicine. So I hope that I can stay, you know, I guess, sensitive to these things and care about these things. I hope I never fully become desensitized to someone dying in my hands. But I don't know, this is a topic I think it's kind of interesting. What are your guys' thoughts about this? I know this video is like long, and if anyone made it to the end, I super appreciate that. Like, thank you for whoever does listen. You know, I just figured I wanted just to kind of like share a little bit about what it was like. So yeah, thanks for watching.